Hello everyone. So in this discussion we are going to discuss about the concept of boundary value problems in engineering. Boundary value problems in engineering. You know, problems is nothing but something which have to be solved to get some results. So what do you mean by boundary value problems? For example, in school level or in your basic level, suppose I take a graph, I take a two-dimensional graph. Okay, in this graph, suppose if you want to find the area of this region, okay, so let us assume A, O, B is the boundary. Am I right? So it has how many boundaries? How many boundaries it has? It has how many boundaries? 3 boundaries. Am I right? It has 3 boundaries. So these 3 boundaries are governing this region, because can I say this y axis as x equal to 0? X is equal to 0 is the equation for the y axis. Am I right? Similarly, can I say this is y equal to 0? Am I right? Y equal to 0. For suppose if I say this, for example, x plus y equal to 2. For example, x plus y equal to 2. Suppose if I say this is the equation of the straight line. It's a linear equation. Straight line is a linear equation. Okay. So on this, suppose if I say, what you can say, how can I understand this point? This and this point. How can I understand this point? Suppose if I apply x equal to 0, I get y equal to 2. Am I right? If I apply x equal to 0, I get y equal to 2. Similarly, if I apply y equal to 0, I get x equal to 2. So these are the points. So the point is 0, 2, the other point is 2, 0. So I can plot this here. So suppose if I say in y axis this is 2 and x axis this is 2, this point is 0, 2 point. This point is 2, 0 point. So on fixing these 2 points, I can draw the straight line in the first quadrant. So this is the boundary. So this is a simple example to demonstrate what is a boundary value, boundary area, boundary structure. So this is the, suppose if I want to find the area of the region, I want to know what is its boundary. Suppose if I want to find the area of this particular region, I want to know what its boundary. Similarly, in problems occurring in engineering, it should have some conditions involved. So if you want to solve those problems, you should know what are the conditions it is getting involved. Okay. So on knowing those ideas, on knowing what are the boundary conditions, what are the conditions involved, you can try using mathematical models, mathematical tools to solve those problems. So in engineering, we come across various such kind of boundary value problems in day-to-day life. For example, heat transfer. Heat transfer happens everywhere, inside our body, in this space, everywhere there is a transfer of heat happening. Am I right? The temperature change is also a heat transfer. Am I right? Temperature change is also a heat transfer. So, in order to study the heat transfer, we can apply various mathematical modeling. For example, we are talking about Fourier transform. Even we can try Fourier transform in this, because heat equations are waveforms. We can study the heat transfer in terms of equations. There are heat equations. That equations can be worked out, solved using Fourier transform, like various tools we have. Similarly, fluid dynamics. What do you mean by fluid dynamics? What is fluid? It can be anything. The blood running inside our body is a fluid. Am I right? What is a fluid? So the flow of fluid. We can study the flow of fluid, movement. Dynamics connects with movement. Am I right? Dynamics connects with movement. So we can study the movement of the fluids. There are variety of fluids available. Compressible fluids are there, incompressible fluids are there, viscous fluids are there. Am I right? There are plenty of fluids are there. So it has its own density. Petrol has its own density that is different from the density of diesel. Water has a density that is different from petrol. Am I right? Am I right? Lead has a density that is different from water. So likewise, there are plenty of fluids with plenty of different properties. So those type of fluids can also be studied using Fourier transforms, such kind of transforms. Similarly, we have electromagnetics. Electromagnetics also a kind of, we know electromagnets. You know the concept of electromagnets. Even there, magnetic field is also a waveform connected concepts. Even there, you can apply our tools like Fourier transform or different transforms that are available in mathematics. So, in general, boundary value problems are some engineering problems which has its own some boundary conditions involved, which can be solved using mathematical models. Got it? Thank you.